Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hi everyone. Today I would like to share about one of my favorite novel called Don Quixote. It's not Quixote or Quixote but Quixote. It is based on Spanish pronunciation. But before we dive in deeper, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Ilman Arash bin Muhammad Rafi and I was born on 3rd December 2004. When we talk about 2004 and December, of course, I always reminded of the tragedy um, of an Indian earthquake and tsunami in Banda Aceh, Sumatra, Indonesia. I remember that my mom once told me that she felt the vibration of the tsunami when we lived in Sarawak back then. But it is in the past and I don't want to remember anymore. And oh yeah, I'm also represent myself as a member of English club in Sekolah Maktab Mahmud Pokok Sena. And I rarely active in some of co-curriculums activities because I'm an introvert person. But I do participate myself in the competition like chorus speaking, storytelling, spelling bee, and more. I also join Cadet Remaja Sekolah or will likely to say KRS, but I don't have any positions in the club like commander or captain. I'm just a cadet and AJK. On top of that, I like drawings. I started to draw since I was 5 years old, and my father taught me about drawings. And yeah, until now, I still draw because it is my hobby. Everyone had their own dream and want them to become true. Like me, I want to become an artist, but it's hard for the for the situations right now because of the COVID, but I can achieve it. Same goes as the Don Quixote. The story by Miguel de Cervantes of a middle-aged landowner in rural Spain who dreams of becoming a knight is one of the foundation stories of world literature. For some novelists, it is a blueprint for all works of imaginative writing. Within its vast bulk, the original two parts are well over 400,000 words long. Cervantes explores all the major themes that preoccupy authors and their readers, conceived as a parody of the chivalric tales that were popular in Europe at the time. He switched between the genres in as he pleased, touching touching on comedy, drama, tragedy, and adventure. As the tale unfolds, we are introduced to stories within stories, dream sequences, bits of poetry, and scenes of heart-hitting realism. It is full of surprises, perhaps the greatest being that, although every page still seems fresh and relevant today, it was written almost 400 years ago, at the very beginning of the 17th century. The novel opens with the simple description of a man who reads so many stories about knights and their fantastic adventures. He loses all grip on reality and decided to set out on a chivalric quest of his own. Dressed in a makeshift knight's costume of rusty iron and cupboard, Don Quixote, as he calls himself, roams the parched landscape of southern Spain, looking for damsels to rescue and ogres to slay. In his deluded state of mind, he sees the world in a different way from the rest of us. A line of windmills is really a gang of menacing giants. A flock of sheep is a marauding army of enemy knights. Like an artist or writer, the aspiring knight fills his work with incredible encounters, amazing sword fights, and bizarre coincidences. In this way, he turns dull, everyday events into magical adventures. Don Quixote has become quite deranged, but Cervantes' first stroke of genius is to give his hero the very knightly qualities he aspires to. The man is polite, gracious, and wise. We might chuckle at his vision of the world, but we can't dismiss him as a fool. Much of what he says is profound, is insightful, and his favorite imagination looks rich and exciting compared with your real life. The author's second masterstroke comes when he has Don Quixote recruit a tabby local farmer to act as his squire. After only a few chapters of the novel, we are introduced to Sancho Panza. At first, Sancho seems little more than a village idiot riding on the donkey behind his superior, but his rough country wit, lively tongue, and insatiable appetite for good things in life, dishes piled high with a pig's trotters, for example, quickly establish him as one of the greatest comedy double act partners in literature. The knight and squire seem made for each other. As Sancho's body nature made as Sancho's body nature emerges out, Don Quixote's courtly manners and highbrow outlook on life are brought to the surface. The conversation between the two friends are pure slapstick, with each of them struggling to assert their contrasting philosophy in life. But it is during these moments in this book when Don Quixote seemed more knightly and noble. In a recent survey of 100 of the world's greatest novels, Don Quixote stood out as the book of many people admire above all others. In his simple story of the two wandering companions, Cervantes somehow managed to explore what it is mean to be alive and to dream of a better life. He takes us into a world of masks and shadows, where nothing is as it appears at first glance. The Knight's Tales forces us to question how we see ourselves, how we decide what is real and what is make believe. This is the underlying aim of all great books, to urge us to think again about how we look at the world around us. Don Quixote is first and foremost a work of entertainment, and Cervantes wanted his readers to have a good laugh at the night antics. But, but the book also carries a powerful message. If we want something badly enough and we dare to dream of having it, then we just might succeed. The Usborne classics have been retold for today's readers at atmospheric illustration, an informative introduction, and useful notes. Don Quixote. Get ready to fight, you giant rogues, cried Don Quixote, gritting his teeth. He made straight for the nearest windmill, but as he thrust his lance into a sweeping sail, his weapon shattered, and the huge arm plucked the knight off his horse and launched him through the air. Don Quixote has read so many books about knights and wizards, damsels and elves. He's gone completely nuts and wants to be a knight himself, recruiting the village idiot Sancho Panza as his squire. He sets off an adventure to amaze readers for centuries. Sancho wanted to persuade his old friend not to give up the ghost, but the hidalgo was overcome of his favor. His squire kept a vigil over him until he slipped out of the living world just 3 days later. This was the end of the brave knights Don Quixote de la Mancha, Knights of the Lions, formerly known as Knights of the Long Face. In his madness, he accomplished facts he accomplished feats that ordinary men can only dream of. His story has been told for 400 years, and his spirit shines on across the sun-scorched plains of southern Spain. Rest in peace, noble Don Quixote. May the questing be the good and the adventures to your liking. That's all from me about Don Quixote, written by Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra. Thank you.